Hello all, welcome back to Assassin's Creed 2, where this stream I think we should be finishing the game. So I have been, first off, I'm aware I missed Tuesday. I had mentioned that I was going to be traveling, and that I might need to push things back, and I would let everybody know if I needed to push things back, and then I didn't, and then the stream didn't happen, and that's entirely my fault. I took pains to make sure that we got home in time for me to do the stream, and then I slept through it because I'm on night shift with my husband. And so whenever we travel to see family, no one else is on night shift. Hold on, I gotta move the cat. No one else is on night shift, and so they all expect us and kind of need us too because, they've got other things in their lives going on. They need us to be on day shift with them, so we have to switch our sleep schedules for the weekend or whatever that we're there, and then when we get home, we have to switch them all back. So when we got home, we tried to switch back, and it didn't. It takes a while. Uh, we're always fine for the weekend, and then the actual switching back takes so long. Like we'll go from sleeping at during the all the way through the day to wake up at night and be awake all night to sleeping as soon as it gets dark, waking up at dawn, and we're ready to go and do stuff the whole weekend and work fine. And then we come back and then it's 4-hour naps for weeks as we try to fix what we got going on. But yeah, so the reason I didn't let anybody know about it was because I didn't know it was going to happen. I slept through it. But now I have been desperately hyping myself up. Hello, good afternoon, evening. Nice to see you, Suman Roy. Is my stream not working? One second. I pulled up the chat, but I didn't swap over from my Night in the Woods stuff. That explains it. See, this is why it's so nice when people actually are in my chat, because having to look at the chat means I pay attention to things. Anyway, yes, we are gaming. Okay, good. It looks like it's popping up now. I have been hyping myself up to make sure that I don't miss this stream. I did all of the things. I took my meds. I ate. I drank water. I fed my cat. I bothered to go to the bathroom. I got everything all comfy. I fixed my sock because it fell off my heel. I'm ready to go to play the game. I'm as hyped as if I had never finished this game before, but I have. It was just 2 years ago, apparently. We have collected all that can be collected. We've picked up all of the extra lore and bits and pieces that can be gathered. And now, at this point, all that is left is to start up the last sequence of events. Memory start. And that's for the money. And just play the game through and just do the plot and finish it up. I don't know how long it's going to take to finish. If it ends like 20 minutes in, because I'm a terrible judge of time, then screw it. I will end this stream at 20 minutes and then just start a new one and mess around for the next 2 hours. I'll find something else to do. I was thinking I have some random itch games that I can play that are not the kind where you really would do a playthrough, but they're fun to mess around in, so. Yes, on to, without further ado, on to the game. Also, I forgot the intro thingy I do. My name is Living Infections, but you can call me Tally or Liv if you like. And welcome back to Assassin's Creed 2. There we go. I did it. I did it. They're all waiting for me. Oh, God. In last stream, we read through every single one of these. So, if you're curious about what any of those say.
Ezio! It is time, uncle. Let us finish what you and my father started all those years
That
ago.
was very
Indeed.
thick.
Perhaps now we can finally make sense of this prophecy and put a stop to whatever it is the Spaniard is plotting.
We should start by locating the vault. The codex pages will lead us to it. Let's take a look.
Decipher the codex pages to discover the location of the vault. Oh.
Rodrigo Borgia, aka the Spaniard. A dark stain on human history, Rodrigo left a trail of blood a mile wide on his quest to unify Italy under the Templar banner. Anyone who opposed him ended up in little pieces inside a sack, or, if he was in a good mood, poisoned. Once he was crowned Pope, Rodrigo, or should I say Alexander VI, used his influence to wage war with any city that held out against the Templars. And then there were the rumoured X-rated atrocities. Hundreds of courtesans brought to the Vatican by the cartload, and the Pope's close friendship with his illegitimate daughter, Lucrezia. Oh yeah, and did I mention the killings never stopped? Throughout all his public debauchery, Rodrigo was quietly murdering his enemies behind the scenes, consolidating Templar power for the moment when they would seize control.
Hot damn. Date of birth, 1431. Profession, leader of the Italian Templars. Noble. You know, I would post my stream link there. It's just... I had a situation, right, in a previous Discord, where they had a similar, like, post your stream links thing, and I became inactive in the game that it was related to, and ended up getting in big trouble because apparently you weren't supposed to post stream links, not only to streaming not the game that they were talking about, they wanted you to be streaming that game, but also because I wasn't active, it wasn't okay for me to post the stream links because I wasn't actually using the server properly. And I don't really want to do that in the Wood Elves one, not necessarily because I think that I'll get in trouble, but because it does feel disingenuous to pop in there and post a stream link when I haven't been online in so long. So, like, when I'm online and I've been, like, having a while where I've been popping in, then I usually post a stream link there, but for the most part, I don't like posting if I haven't been active in the game that the server's for. Create a server, how so? Oh no, and I love the suggestion, absolutely, and I appreciate it. I just, I worry about taking advantage of such a nice server. But I'm curious what you mean about creating a server. I mean, there's if I assume I'm gonna assume that you know this because you're subscribed to me, but I already post my Discord stream. But when I set up and schedule my YouTube streams, it puts it in a bar on my channel page, so it should say when the next streams are supposed to be going up and what the date and time is for them, and then it should let people know when I go. So I'm not sure it'll be useful to make a Discord just for posting the stream links. Unless you mean creating a Discord where I would post my stream links and then... I don't really advertise that I do streams to friends and acquaintances and stuff. It's just kind of something I do randomly. I don't really have a goal of, like, increasing subscriber count or anything. It's just to mess around. Posting links and having people come join is always fun, though. Like, I'm not going to deny that. Oh, now I'm locked in the room. I'm gonna move a pillow or something. Oh, it's the end of my hair ribbon. Gotcha. Something was jabbing me in the back of the head. It was my own hair. I have a talent, and that talent is injuring myself with things that should not hurt me. Anyway, at the end of the last stream, we already put all of the codex pages in line, so I don't think we actually need to organize those. We just need to pop the apple in. Aw, that's very sweet. You know, you make a good point. There probably are actual Discords specifically for streamers. Which might be a good place to pop stuff in. And I'm glad you like my content. That's always good to hear. My goal was basically to be something that people feel like they can put in the background, because that's what I do mostly. I play a game and then I listen to a stream in the background so that I have sort of the implication of someone else being around. And sometimes it's the same game, but that can get a little confusing if you have like overlapping voices and sound effects. So a lot of times I have a specific game that I listen to streams of while I play a different specific game. It's like I listen to Minecraft videos or Minecraft streams when I what's the word I'm looking for? I listen to Minecraft streams when I play Stardew Valley. That's true. That was one of the reasons why I picked YouTube in the first place, was because then I wouldn't have to choose to leave a VOD up. And I know that Twitch lets you like make a decision to leave a VOD up, but I feel like I would mess that up a little bit easier. So for YouTube, it was more of a, I don't need to make actual videos. I can just stream and the video stays up. And then it's the same one. It's not like a separate one, and it'd be good stuff. I love having you pop in. Honestly, it's fantastic, and I'm super appreciative of it. I have considered trying to stream on Twitch instead, or as well. People like dual stream, but I'm pretty sure that would require a bit more technical know-how than I am capable of. I would end up with a lot more technical problems like I have before with, you know, my whole issue of things not popping up on screen, etc., etc. And I don't want to have to start every single stream going, oh, sorry guys, I had some issues. I like that little chandelier. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the apple into place. I love how you just knew that that needed to go there.
It is a map of the entire world, but there are lands shown here that do not exist.
Apparently they do exist. I imagine they've yet to be discovered. Or rediscovered.
How is this possible?
Perhaps the vault will hold the answer.
Do you see where it is, then?
No,
Aw, very sweet.
can't be. The vault. It looks like the vault is in Roma, then the Spaniard. This is why he became Pope.
Now I understand. It's not the vault alone he's gained access to, but the staff as well.
What stuff?
The Codex always spoke of two keys. Two pieces of Eden needed to open the vault. One is the apple.
And the other is the staff. The papal staff is the second piece of Eden.
For years.
Man, the implications of that.
decades, we've sought these answers.
And now, at last, we have them.
But so too could the Spaniard. And if he does, if he finds a way into the vault, its contents will make the apple seem a trifling thing.
I must go to Roma and find the vault. What of the rest of you?
We'll do what we do best. Cause some trouble in the city, giving you the freedom to conduct your search. Just let me know when you are ready, Nipote.
Two things. So the implication that the papal staff is a piece of Eden, or implies that what it implies is the pieces of Eden tend to have a controlling effect over the people around them. Like, I think the different pieces of Eden have different purposes and do different things, but they all seem to have like a sort of magnetic draw. And you know, what else would a papal staff do? So they're actually implying that the reason that Catholicism is so prevalent at this time and in general, and the reason that the oh, that word, papacy, whatever. The reason that the Pope exists and has existed for so long is specifically because they are using a mind control staff to influence people to believing in their religion. Not necessarily mind control, but some sort of influential ability. And it just is... That is such a big claim. Oh my god. And then there's the whole, but what if the Spaniard also knows? But how would the Spaniard know? He doesn't have the codex pages. He doesn't have all of them. We have all of them. And we've gathered codex pages from different things, like from boxes that were presumably being held by the Templars. But unless they made, like, they didn't have the Apple at the time to scan said pages, you know? So I think it is one of those situations that I tend to dislike, which are just, that's just how it works. You know, like I say that, but I'm going to be playing Tomb Raider again on Thursday, and that's the whole premise of Tomb Raider, which is the person who does all of the work to find the answers the really, really long way, somehow the bad guy always ends up meeting them as well, even though they had like all these secret riddles and information. At least in Tomb Raider they specify, we followed you, but that's only some of the time. And so this is another one of those where it's like, there is no reason for the bad guy to have the same information that we have, but I'm pretty sure somehow he's going to have the same information we have, and that'll be great. Yes, I'm aware. Decrypted codex pages are on this wall. And the last thing is, I am so happy for you to have 40 followers. That's awesome. And a shout out would be neat. Right? Exactly. Like, it's just got a draw to it. And that's such a big, not like an unrealistic leap in this universe, but it's such a big claim to make. Like, you're making a video game about like DNA and genetic memories, and then you go, hey, so Catholicism is based on mind control from this magic piece of antique metal or whatever that was owned by this ancient race of people. And it's like, awesome. Which implies that just one person was a real believer in Catholicism and got a hold of the staff and ended up using it to just sort of take control. Which is, oh god, that's so funny to me. I should be offended on behalf of people whose religion is very important to them. I find it funny. I love claims about antiquity like that. Like, that's one of the reasons I like these games. It's specifically the early ones, because I will say I don't have as much experience with the newer ones. But they really don't play that game quite as well. It's mostly... There's a difference between, like, conspiracy and, like, ultimate conspiracy. Like, this one is, like, the entire fate of the world. And every single thing is affected by it, whereas the later ones just seem to be... Like, there's an underlying understanding that there are these different groups and these different fighting entities. And then they just sort of blame every bad thing that ever happened on those things. But it's not on the purpose of them. It's just, hey, so this guy who died, he was killed by a Templar for the sake of they didn't like him. Whereas this one is like, No, we have like big plans and the entire history of the world is being rewritten and affected by what we're doing. And I don't know. I think it's cool that they were so brave to go so big, make such big, bold claims. Sure. I mean, that'd be very sweet of you. You already know my Discord, because we're in the same server. So if you want to just message me there, feel free. Like, you specifically have permission. Man, I keep wanting to see this as like I want to be able to jump on the tables. And then I forget that I can't. Is there anything? My income is 0 florins. Okay. Alright. Should really move this along.
Roma beckons, Ezio. Let me know when you are ready to depart.
I think I just got money, but screw it. Let's go to Rome. We got enough cash in our pockets. I have used the throw money thing like once. I did kind of like in, I think, I'm not good at remembering which games are which. In one of the other games later on, they make throwing money like a little bit more viable. Just a little. You're very sweet, Suman. Thank you. Alright, where the hell are we? Infiltrate the Sistine Chapel and assassinate Rodrigo Borgia, the Spaniard. Okay. Entering the Vatican. We're climbing, we're climbing. Nope. There we go. Awesome. Thank you. You've been so helpful from the start. You the bomb diggity. Guest of honor. Alright, who can I kill? Nobody saw that.
There he is! Lajou!
You think you're gonna escape?
I am so happy that it didn't just tell me that I couldn't be recognized and then desync me. Okay, it would be fun to do it all. Like sneakily. Basilica di San Pietro. The original St. Peter's Basilica, built in 326, as opposed to the epic basilica that exists today, was constructed in the form of a Latin cross. An atrium, called the Garden of Paradise, stood at the entrance, beckoning followers through the main doorways of the church. Unlike pagan temples, which were lavishly decorated, the facade of St. Peter's was plain. Thankfully, Catholicism got over all that when they made the new St. Peter's. Of course, the downside was that the religion became incredibly corrupt, but hey, beauty has to come at a price. Thank you. The basilica was built on top of the old circus of Nero, but before you start pulling out your popcorn and cotton candy, this wasn't a modern circus. The Roman crucifixions of Christians was the main act. St. Peter, among many others, was hung up to die there. The basilica was built on top of this anti-Christian site as almost an intentional modification of history by Emperor Constantine, because if it no longer exists, it never happened, right? I remember learning about that. La la la. I got my... You know what? I'm gonna unplug my phone. It's fine. It's fully charged. Got cords in my way.
Hey, get down! You won't get away! Master!
Where are you going?
Yes! Runs fast for a corpse!
They're just waiting? You're not gonna do anything?
Move and be... Figlio di puttana! Wait for the slip!
Alright, I guess I'm just killing them outright. I wish I was better at sneaking. I do love doing this stealth stuff. It makes me feel very cool. I'm just not good at doing the stealth stuff. One might argue that practice makes perfect, but, no. Man, I meant to do an assassination of 2 of them to trim down the numbers, but I forgot that I had switched to my sword. Hold on. Stop. Stop. Clicking on them. Thank you. Kill this one.
You're opening carefully, men. This one is a fool.
Get him, get him, get him, get him. Aren't I already wearing the... Yeah, it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of restarts, so in the next game, I know that I'll have a lot of restarts. Maybe I'll get really, really good at it then. But yeah, see, I'm already wearing the, Oh my goodness, I just forgot Ezio's last name. I'm wearing his family crest cape, so I instantly piss off anyone who sees me. Ah, it's up there.
Assassino! Assassino!
Uh-oh. We gotta put all my skills together. Auditore, thank you. I forgot the freaking name of Altair.
Your flame will be most right behind you to survive this encounter. Ora, go!
Here, we're gonna do... Get... Buddy, would you please? He's refusing. Throw the bomb. Thank you. Why are you doing them one at a time? I hate you.
I see him! You won't get far! Remember!
Oh my god, useless.
Fieldsmen, flank him and keep it safe. The rats will have a rare treat this night.
Get him. No. Get him. Oh my god. Ah. This is why I never claim to be good at these games. I'm a completionist. That doesn't mean I'm good at it. Wow, he just went right through me. Great. Get on the horse, bro. Also, why is there a horse up here? Oh, you're kidding me. All of that, and I didn't even get to ride the horse anymore.
That's a funny.
Much better. AC3, American history. Oh, man. AC3. I was very annoyed with AC3, I'll be honest. Like, I had a lot of pet peeves about it. I left it a bad review on Steam, and I don't like doing that, especially for Assassin's Creed. You know? Like, it hurt, but it was just, there were so many things. I don't even know how to describe all of the problems I had with it. Specifically relating to the story feeling long, yeah, I would have to agree a lot because there's very intense music, even though I'm not really doing much. In part, I think the story felt so long because you went through the whole process that they wanted you to go through for, like, completing the map, and then they brought you to a new map and made you do it all over again. But it was like every single thing all over again. Like here, you have two main things. You have, you know, codex pages, your collectibles, codex pages and treasure, and then you have the side quests, which is just like random combinations of, you know, beat up or race or courier stuff, and each area has these different things, and you can do all of those and collect all of those viewpoints and stuff. But then for that one, it was like so many side quests and random little things that had nothing to do with anything else you were doing, and then it made you do it all over again from scratch, and it was like exhausting because the area was so big, like the initial one, and it wasn't really broken up into any, like, good smaller spots. I mean, I'm gonna attempt, when I eventually get to it, to, you know, give it my best shot. But, you know, I make no promises. I like to be a completionist, but I don't pretend that I'm actually, you know, I'm not gonna put myself in the bubble of feeling like I have to 100% complete it. I want to, but I'm not gonna torment myself. Exactly, it made it feel so much like a chore. Like here, we just, you know, we have a stream of, okay, I guess we're doing goblin stuff today, running around picking things up. But there, it was like, oh, it was a lot.
There he is.
There who is? Whatever could you mean? You think it'll actually let me? I don't think it'll do it. I can't, Wow. Thanks, kid. Also, yes, Altair ibn Ahad.
There! He's here somewhere.
I remembered his name, finally. Well, I say remembered. I asked for help. But I got his name. You guys gave me his name, and I refuse to ever forget it. Get down so we can assassinate this dude. Come here. Get over here. I didn't tell you to do that either.
Why are you up here? Why are you up there?
I got one really bloody sleeve. Or is that just my hand? That's my hand. I think they're trying to get you to use all of your talents for this one. Get who?
This won't take long.
Here. Come here. Now everybody, come on. Circle up. I'm gonna get all the really difficult guys first. Why did you just stop assassinating them? Oh, I hate you. Yeah, alright, fine, I'll do this one. Thank you. Sometimes I feel cool. And sometimes I get that crap beat out of me.
About time you ought to put out of our misery.
Come on, come on. What is the point of having the strafe button if you're not going to use it? I love when it gives you people that you can't block. So you just, you know, take the hits. Come on. Ouch! Get away. You know, forget the fact that I'm pressing the block button. You're making me use a lot of medication, you guys. You're making me look bad. You're making me sound bad. Oh, I gotta remain undetected from here on. Instantly gonna lose. Woof. I got sneezes. Hello. No, I'm one of these guys. You don't see me. Ezio's real secret is those freaking eyes in the back of his head that let him look behind himself.
Another stranger.
I did it. I did it. I did it. Let it count. That was sick.
Credo in unum Deum Patrem omnipotent.
Oh, no, 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 that's not what I meant to do. I wish I could just pause it. I believe in one God, omnipotent Father.
Et in unum Dominum Jesum Christum, Filium Dei unigenitum. Et ex Patre natum ante omnia saecula. Deum de Deo, lumen de lumine, Deum verum de Deo vero. Genitum non factum consubstantiarem Patri, perquem omnia facta sunt.
Man, you don't understand how frustrating it is to look at this and know that I know these. I used to know these words.
Et incarnatus est de Spiritus Sancto ex Maria Virgine et homo factus est.
Of the Virgin Mary.
Crucifixus etiam pro nobis, sub Pontio Pilato, passus
Pontius
et
Pilate.
sepultus est. Et resurrexit
He
tertia
resurrected on the
die
third day
secundum Scripturas. Et ascendit in cielo.
and ascended
Sedet
into
ad
heaven
dexteram Patris. Iterum venturus et cum
to
gloria
something,
judicare
Father,
vivos et mortuos, cuius
life
regni
and
non
death.
erit finis, et in spiritum sanctum dominum et vivificantem, qui ex
Holy
Patre
Spirit.
filioque procedit, qui cum Patre et Filius simul adoratur
Father
et
of-
conglorificatur, qui locutus est per prophetas. Et unam sanctam catholicam
Bro,
et
do you never
apostolicam
repeat yourself?
ecclesiam,
Oh,
confiteorum baptisma in
the
remissionem
Holy
peccatorum,
Catholic and
et expecto resurrectionem
Ecclesiastes.
mortuorum, et vitam venturi saeculi. Amen.
finally.
Credo in unum Deum Patrem
I believe in one God, the
omnipotentem,
Father, omnipotent,
factorem celi et terrae, visibilium omnium et
heaven on
invisibilium.
earth.
Et in unum Dominum Jesum Christum, Filium Dei unigenitum, et ex Patre natum ante omnia saecula, Deum de Deo, lumen de lumine.
Oh, I
Deum
love
verum
that.
de
That's
Deo
always
vero.
great.
Genitum non factum
You're going to
consubstantiarem
Italy, though.
Patri,
That's so
perquem
cool.
omnia facta sunt, qui propter nos homines et propter nostram salutem descendit de celis, et incarnatus est de Spiritus Sancto ex Maria
Capella
Virgine.
Sistina. Inspired by the architecture of Solomon's Temple, the Sistine Chapel is the most famous room in the Apostolic Palace, the Pope's Vatican residence. The chapel's famous ceiling frescoes did not exist yet in 1503, so no climbing across the finger of God, but the wall paintings that line the chapel, painted by Pietro Perugino, Sandro Botticelli, and Domenico Ghirlandaio, among others, are an ample consolation prize. As the Pope's personal chapel, Mass is frequently held inside, as are the papal conclaves, which occur after the Pope's death. The cardinals are locked inside the chapel and are not permitted to leave until a new Pope is elected. Only through smoke signals sent up a chimney to announce the new Pope can they escape. And worst of all horrors, no cardinals, unless ill, can be attended inside by more than one servant. That's just cruel.
Homo factus est.
But no, seriously, that's so cool that you're going to Italy, and it is cooler still that you are going to try and learn some Italian for a friend. That's always fun.
Et resurrexit
My husband is Hispanic, and he does not give a damn that I know any Spanish.
ascendit in celum, sedet ad dexteram Patris, Iterum venturus et cum gloria judicare vivos et
I'm gonna go murder a
mortuos,
pope.
cuius regni non erit finis, et in spiritum sanctum dominum et vivificantem, qui ex Patre filioque procedit.
Yoink!
I thought I was beyond this. But I'm not. I've waited too long. Lost too much.
Requiescat in pace.
you bastard.
I don't think so.
You already killed him.
No!
Tell me you didn't bring the apple with you. See? See proof.
How is it you resist?
I see.
You
Kind of
brought
you to
it,
bring me the
you
apple.
idiot.
Now
I
give it
hate
here.
him.
Vaya farti fottere.
Always the fighter, just like your father. Well, rejoice, my child.
Such
for you
disrespect
will
for the
see him
papal
again
staff.
soon. You will give it to me.
As you wish.
How did you figure out how to do that? Excuse you.
Fascinating. An impressive power, this. But if you think it's going to save you, you've another thing coming.
What the hell? Why are there so many of these?
How long do you think you can keep this up?
Why are you using your bare fist? Kill him.
I'll cut you down, assassin!
General leader made for swinging at people, yes?
Yes, kill. I pressed the kill button. Kill, 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 kill. Why are you not killing? Kill, kill.
You cannot stop me!
What is going on? There we go. I keep grabbing him, and then my options are kill and throw. So I hit the kill button. Finally! What was that?
No, you will not take this from me.
It's finished, Rodrigo. Lay down
Why
your
are you
arms.
panting? You've done almost
I will
nothing.
make sure the end comes swiftly.
Really, Ezio? And would you give up so easily were it the other way around? Why don't we find out?
Why? What are you doing?
At last.
Why did you grab it, stupid?
And now, to deal with you.
You know, your ancestor was able to resist it. Interesting. Very, very interesting. That was really anticlimactic. I just bullied the crap out of him with my stupid buddies. I lost no health. I'm not even bleeding anymore. I'm at full health. I have no mitigations on it. And I watched him disappear. So there's not even any joy in me discovering that there's this hidden passageway here. What was that? What was that? That was a really sad little fight. Oh. Cool. So, what I'm seeing here is that this... that was one hell of a generic background danger noise. So... Alright, okay. Let's talk about implications. Let's talk about implications. I love implications. So this vault, I can tell just from looking down at that light, that is not from this time period. Which means that this would have to be a vault that was put together by the people who created the Pieces of Eden, because it's you know, pre-antiquity, you know, prehistory, and this whole thing appears to match, right? So clearly Like, somebody else made this. Maybe they, you know, or the same people who made that down there probably made this. But they probably didn't make these. These were put together by something else, right? But this still means that the Circus of Nero was put on top of a vault that had been discovered, and then the basilica was put on top of where the circus used to be, and became the seat of power for Catholicism as a whole. Well, Christianity, I guess, technically. Kind of. Like, that's so interesting. Like, it's like you were saying about people leaning into and being drawn to power, even if it's not actively doing something to them, they're just gonna want to be around it. So Nero found this and wanted to use it as a seat for his power and to show his power by, you know, crucifying Christians. And then Christians took over and used it as a seat for their power. And it's all because it's on top of a vault that was created by previous people who used their abilities for power. And it's a circle. The circle of history. Like, look at these floor lights. Ooh. Ooh. I'm gonna go left.
What is this place?
Not for you, that's what it is. I want to know where all of these doors lead. Look at all these doors. Oh.
Open, damn you! Open!
It's over, Rodrigo. No
Oh my
more
god, it's doing it
tricks.
to me again.
No more ancient artifacts. No more weapons. Let us see what you are made of, old man.
All right then. If that's how you want to play it.
What makes you think he's gonna play fair? Why did you strip off all of your armor when he's still glowing?
What do you even want with the vault, Rodrigo?
Don't you know what lies within? Or do you mean to tell me the great and powerful
Figure what out.
God? It's God.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to I want to listen to this.
You expect me to believe that God lives beneath Il Vaticano?
A more logical location than a kingdom in a cloud, don't you think? Surrounded by singing angels and cherubim. Makes for a lovely image. But the truth is far more interesting.
I was too good at it, so it started
Let's
skipping
say I was to
dialogue.
believe you. What do you think he'll do when you open that door?
I don't care. It's not approval I'm after. Just power.
And you think he'll give it up?
Whatever lies beyond that wall won't be able to resist the staff and apple. They were made for felling gods.
God is meant to be all-knowing, all-powerful. You think a couple of ancient relics can harm him?
You know nothing, boy. You take your image of the creators from an ancient book. A book, mind you, written by men.
You are the Pope, and yet you dismiss the central text of your faith?
Are you so naive? I became Pope because it gave me access. It gave me power. You think I believe a single goddamn word of that ridiculous book? It's all lies and superstition, just like every other religious tract written over the past 10,000 years.
Are we good? We good? Okay. Wow, you suck at this. I'm just gonna keep stomping on him. I am not afraid to hit you while you're down. This just feels mean. Like, this isn't a hard fight. Oh, okay. You got in a hit. Proud of you. And now the fight's eerily silent, but like, I'd prefer that to... What is the point of a counter? There we go. That was a little pathetic. I'm in the middle of killing him.
You can't.
An MMA fight.
It's my destiny! Mine! I am the prophet!
You never were.
Get it over with, then.
No. Killing you won't bring my family back.
He says 10 minutes
I'm
after he
done.
tried to kill you.
Nulla è reale. Tutto è lecito. Requiescat in pace. What happens if you point it at any of the other directions? Huh? Huh? What happens? I'm so curious. Technically, the way that this is fitted, it should be able to just spin. You could just open all these up. That'd be great. Also, I completed sequence 14. Monterigione's value just went up. It's so glowy. I'm so mad. They're doing this to me again. I know that the next game starts with you in this hole, which means this is about to end. I'm only going to be like 30 minutes in. Damn it. Okay, an hour in. Maybe there's a Desmond part I'm missing.
Greetings, Prophet. It is good you have come. Let us see it, to give thanks.
Your clothing is ugly as hell, ma'am. Although I do like that little hairpiece at the bottom of her braid.
We must speak.
If you'll notice where her eyes are.
Many names. When I died, it was Minerva. Before that, Merva and Mera. And on and on. The others, too. Juno, who was before called Uni. Jupiter, who was before called Tinia.
Tina.
You are gods.
No, not gods. We simply came before. Even when we walked the world, your kind struggled to understand our existence. We were more advanced in time. Your minds were not yet ready. Still not. Maybe never.
Her eyes
No
are
matter.
on.
You may not comprehend us, but you will comprehend our warning. You must.
None of what you are saying makes sense.
Our words are not meant for you.
What are you talking about? There's no one else here.
Enough. I do not wish to speak with you, but to you. You are the prophet. You've played your part. You anchor him, but please be silent, that we may commune. Listen. When we were still flesh and our home still whole, your kind betrayed us. We who made you. We who gave you life. We were strong, but you were many, and both of us craved war. So busy were we with earthly concerns, we failed to notice the heavens. And by the time we did, the world burned until naught remained but ash. It should have ended then and there. But we built you in our own image. We built you to survive. And so we did. Few were our numbers. Your kind and mine. It took sacrifice. strength, compassion. But we rebuilt. And as life returned to the world, we endeavored to ensure this tragedy would not be repeated. But now, we are dying. And time will work against us. Truth turned into myth and legend. What we built, misunderstood. Let my words preserve the message and
Aztec
make a
temple.
record of our loss. But let my words also bring hope. You must find the other temples, built by those who knew to turn away from war. They worked to protect us, to save us from the fire. If you can find them, if their work can be saved, so too might this world. Be quick, for time grows short. And guard against the cross, for there are many who will stand in your way.
There's the staff. Oh, and there's the Abstergo symbol in the background.
It is done. The message is delivered. We are gone now from this world. All of us. We can do no more. The rest is up to you, Desmond.
What? Who is Desmond? I don't understand. Please, wait. I have so many questions.
Ooh.
What the fuck?
That is the end. God damn it. I knew they were gonna do that to me. Ugh. This game is so mean. Alright. We got like 30 minutes of actual gameplay in because I was rambling. But... but good game, I guess. Okay, so... I love the way that these introduce more of this information and
There's
the
only
way
about
that they
10 minutes
built
until I
this.
get...
Need all of my equipment ready to go before they do.
Oh.
Desmond!
You gonna give me
Yeah.
more?
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
Sean,
God.
I need you and Rebecca to get everything in here packed up and loaded into the truck. You and I'll deal with the Templars.
What, they're here?
It was only a matter of time before they discovered us. To be honest, I'm surprised it took them as long as it did.
Let's go.
Alright, I'm playing again. I get to run! I get to run as
So,
Desmond!
what's the plan? We ditch this place and then what?
There's another safe house. We've got company. The truck's just up ahead.
Mr. Miles, this is an unexpectedly pleasant turn of events. And here I thought I'd have to waste more men on you. Kind of you to save me the trouble.
What do you want, Vidic?
For you to come home. We miss you terribly. There's still so much work for us to do together.
It's not happening, Warren.
You continue to disappoint in every conceivable way, Miss Stillman. I saved your life once, do you remember? And this is how you repay me?
You saved me so you could keep experimenting on people, destroying their lives. And for what?
This tired argument again. As I recall, you were there, at my side, every step of the way. Their blood is on your hands just as much as mine.
You need to stop him.
I'm on it.
What, am I not supposed to interact with these guys? There we go. And you'll notice that when you're Desmond, you don't get any of the... You don't get any of the hints for how to move your character. So you gotta rely entirely on actually knowing the game. I mean, to be fair, it's just point and click, but still.
It's only a matter of time before you both back where you belong.
I can't do anything with him yet?
Is this necessary?
on. Ouch. At least I don't have any health here. I don't think I can die. They'll just keep beating on me. Kill! God.
Our resources are infinite, while yours dwindle by the minute.
Thank you, camera. You're doing such a good job here, buddy. What the? Go! It refuses. I think I have to go back and kill the other ones.
I want the two of them alive.
Where the frick are you? Come on.
Uh-oh, Doc. Looks like it's just you and me now.
Enjoy your victory, Mr. Miles. Temporary as it is.
He didn't even close the truck.
Desmond, we have to go!
There you are. Come on. Help Lucy into the van. Hurry, Desmond. We need to go.
You'll have your turn, Desmond. Warren's gonna get what he deserves. I promise.
Uh-huh.
So what now? Where are we headed?
There's a cabin up north. We should be safe there. At least for a little while. I have to analyze those tapes from your session. Figure out what's happening.
And then what?
Here we go. I've got you all hooked up. Got a long drive ahead of us. Figured you might want to play around with the Animus on the way.
Alright, but I got some questions first. I mean, what the hell was that in the vault?
What you saw proves everything I was afraid of. The Templars aren't our biggest threat. Not by a long shot.
So what, the sun is? What's it gonna do? Cook the Earth?
I doubt it, but I don't know. There's been some speculation that the Earth's magnetic field is weakening. A sufficiently strong flare could flip the poles and cause a geomagnetic reversal. It's all theoretical, but if it happens, the planet could become geologically unstable. Very unstable.
It's meant to be the stuff of pseudoscience, but clearly something catastrophic happened to the people of the first civilization. And that woman, what was her name? Minerva, was it? She seemed to think we were due for a second round.
So either way, we're fucked.
I don't know yet. We'll keep reviewing the tapes. And you can keep digging through your memories. Maybe there's more to discover.
Alright. Guess I better get started.
It's like they ran out of money. I'm like, we're not animating this shit. We're just doing the voiceover. I gotta say, interesting choice to have you playing through the credits. I guess it makes sense though, since as Desmond, you don't have any GUI. There's like no interface blocking anything for the text to come through, so you can just play through it because it's just the screen. But, yeah. This game is so rude that it does this to me, like, every single time. It always has the weirdest, like, ins and outs. And there's no easy way to tell when it's supposed to end. But yeah, so the ones who came before, the lore we have learned is that the ones who came before were the first civilization on Earth. And they... If you remember watching The Truth, we watched the full Truth video in the last stream, because we finished gathering those last little bits. You see Adam and Eve running away from Eden, basically. And they pass by other humans who are slaves. They're a bunch of naked slaves. Working for, supposedly, the people who came before, who made them, created them. So, when they say that, they're not like, you're our kids, they mean like, we built your bodies. And they basically seem to have built them as cattle, to do jobs for them and be their slaves. And they used the pieces of Eden maybe to control them, or maybe to just do whatever they wanted. We don't know how effective they would be on the other people who came before, so I don't know if they were pieces of war. But anyway, so they are living this way with these slaves, and eventually slaves gain sentience. They were built to be tools, and then they stop wanting to be tools anymore, and they start having opinions. And it's implied that Adam and Eve are the start of the revolution, that they become aware of what's going on and they escape Eden and then bring back or maybe, sneak away and steal other humans to build a revolution and start a war with the people who came before, the ancients. And in the middle of fighting all of this, they stop paying attention to what's happening above them. So there is their claim in the game is that what we usually consider like the dinosaur age, the meteor that killed all the dinosaurs, etc. Their claim is that it was a gigantic solar flare and that it murdered pretty much everybody. Just a couple of them survived. Just a couple of the people who came before, because their whole thing is supposed to be that they are like ageless. They are built to survive. Made in their image, humans also are built to survive, but they survive through adaptation and breeding rather than through being impervious. And so then after this apocalypse, because there were so few left, the people who came before had to join up with their previous enemies, the humans, and they created symbiotic relationships where the people who came before provided their knowledge and their information, and the humans willingly did more of the tasks, the physical tasks. And the people who came before would offer up technology, presumably stuff like the pieces of Eden. And then there's the implications of, if they rebuilt, then it's implied that they're the inspiration for, the Aztec temples we saw on that wall, probably the pyramids. It's that really classic theory that, these ancient people couldn't have come up with this themselves. Although I do like the implication that implications are so fucking cool. But I like that while they do say that it is implied through the images you see in the story that she tells, right? It's that classic, like I said, concept of ancient people couldn't have come up with it themselves. There's no indication in this that it was actually built by the people who came before, more so that it was inspired by them and humans still built them. And a lot of the times conspiracies, about aliens coming to Earth and leaving the pyramids behind or building them themselves, that's a big thing in Star Trek, or not Star Trek, Stargate, implies that they couldn't have built it, that it's not just they couldn't have thought of it, but they couldn't have physically figured it out. The gravesite of Harry Houdini image? Oh, it's because of all of those little clips and bits and pieces from the Truth games. They had to get archived images for different things and different historical things to look at. But as I was saying, a lot of times conspiracies that talk about, how crazy and impossible ancient wonders were say that humans couldn't have physically managed it, whereas this just implies that they were inspired by something specific and that they still made it, which is kind of, an improvement. Not by much, but it is an improvement. And so then she's named Minerva. She talks about Juno, basically saying that in creating these symbiotic relationships, they became referred to as gods because of how powerful and wise they were and how they were so good at the different things they were good at. And people started to worship them, which must have been great for them because that's what they wanted in the first place. Though to be fair, I don't think that they... Is it going to let me go back in the game? Because I think that's what they were implying, was that you can now play around in the Animus and go back and complete the collections if you haven't done it already. Yeah, there we go. See, I'm back in the study in the house. But there's no indication that your job, that the humans, when they were the slaves in Eden before they rebelled, there's no indication that they were worshipping the people who came before. They were just working for them. So it's almost like a step up actually, for them to eventually start being revered by humans and worshipped by them because they're not just willing to do work for them, they're considering them gods, and they must have enjoyed that quite a bit. But yeah, there is a reason people come back to the Assassin's Creed games, and it's because of stuff like this. It's because of this incredibly intricate lore that somebody came up with and built on in these, especially in the early games. I mean, they do some cool stuff like in Assassin's Creed Origins, and they do fun inclusions. And I do really like that they make a comment in this game. I don't remember where it was or if I already commented on it. I have memory loss, leave me alone. Where they say that they found these codex pages, and oh, it was from when we were reading the codex pages, where Altair explains that the ways that they learned to make their assassin blades, he improved on them by using things that no one had previously understood before, that were even older, and implied that the abilities of that they were only rediscovering something that had already previously been discovered. So they were basically, they claimed that like the assassins and the Templars are two concepts that keep reincarnating, that even if both of them are absolutely obliterated and lost to time, they keep being refounded, both of these groups, and then they keep finding each other and clashing again. And it's a really, it's a metaphor, obviously, for, chaos versus order, and how the assassins are actually in support of chaos because chaos is what creates life, and the Templars are more in support of order because order provides structure, and they think it's going to make everything better if they're in charge because they can provide order. And like the fact that they took this incredibly fundamental aspect of life, of chaos versus order, and then they split it and built it into this insanely intricate lore and this world and this alternate universe where they just changed up every little bit of history, just a tiny bit, and it's one of the things that actually makes me a little sad is my understanding of history is I often I did study ancient history, the classic ancient history, more Western ideas, Greek and Latin history and stuff. But in general, like I love history, and my understanding of it isn't enough for me to be considered an expert. So I can't speak with any sort of weight or authority on stuff. And so reading out all of those little tidbits and those little historical pieces, I can't tell how much of it is real and how much isn't, And while it is a little frustrating that I don't get to know, how much of the history is made up. And so it's not really, I don't feel comfortable ever using information I get from these games to inform my understanding of history, other than like the most basic things. When I recognize a name and I recognize a date, etc., etc. But stuff like, when this building was built and what the building was built for and who was in charge of it and who were the creators, like I can't use that because I don't know how real it was. But I think it speaks to the quality of the game that it's so hard to tell, which of these characters were actual historical people that they're adding these new backgrounds to, and which are wholly new characters that they are just inventing and sort of pushing into the narrative to have that background and to give that fleshing out of the story for them, and they have these, presumably the more dramatic flair of your targets that gets the voiceover explanation of who they were as a person. Probably entirely freaking made up, but the more just, especially for the buildings of this is who made it, this is why it was made, and this is the history of it. And I always question how much of that is real, but I think it speaks to how good it is that you can't tell so easily, that it's not so obvious. You can't go, oh, well, that's clearly made up. That's total bullshit. Because Who the hell knows? Not me. I'm not enough of an expert on this stuff. And that's one of the cool things about the fact that the Assassin's Creed franchise jumps from location to location to time period is it lets you see all these different cultures and stuff, and it gives them these different, and you get the vibe of the culture. You know, you get the presence of what it's like there, the architecture, the art styles, the beauty around it, and then the history is so curiously manipulated in different ways to do different things. And I just think that's so difficult, and it's why Assassin's Creed is so popular, is because they're able to do this and make history so interesting. And they do it by, you know, slipping in these little bits, but you don't know which ones are real and which ones aren't unless that's something you study. And if you study it, I assume it would be just as interesting to play through and recognize those differences and point them out for yourself. Like for me, translating the Latin when I can, which is, you know, it's very, very little, is super fun. And so I assume for like historians, it would be cool to be able to point out, you know, this is accurate, that is accurate, this isn't accurate, that's total BS. That's not how that worked at the time. Which is one of my favorite things to say, and also one of the worst things to have to say because it gets so frustrating. Of that's not how that worked. Like, look at this, look at these rugs. Instead of getting one big rug, they got all four. Like, the detail there, you know. And there's a Tumblr post about a guy who went on a field trip with his school, or about a person who went on a field trip with their school to Italy, and their tour group, their like school group, got lost in the city, and then some kid went and was able to lead them back to where they needed to be because he played Assassin's Creed so much. He actually knew the layout of ancient Rome. So he was like, I know if we're at this landmark, I know how to get to this other landmark. Because, you know, the landmarks in Rome are so old that they were around. They're in the same places. And it's like, how accurate does it get? How much detail goes into them? And you understand how the enormity of what goes into these games, and it's fascinating. And I'm rambling a lot, but it's because there's a reason that I love these games so much and that I wanted to replay them. I know it might not be the most interesting to watch someone replay a game that they have clearly already played, but it's so good. I don't stop enjoying it. I don't stop having thoughts about it. Like, breaking this stuff up and seeing what it's doing and how it's going and how it relates to everything else. I think that's mainly it. Is I'm a storyteller. I'm a huge lover and sucker for stories. And Assassin's Creed takes the entirety of human history and puts a story to it. Not that it doesn't already have that, but it puts like a specific story to it. It sort of narrows it down so that there's one core thing that you can follow through all of history. And that makes it so appealing because it really turns it into a big storybook, and it makes you want to learn more. And it's so good, you know? I love Assassin's Creed, and the mechanics of the game often piss me off, and the requirements of the game increase with every new iteration to hurt my soul and kill my laptop, but I'm such a sucker. And I own all of Assassin's Creed. I even bought the one that I was missing one of them, and I bought it. I got it on sale. I own it now. And by on sale, I think it was free. I was just paying attention, and I own it now. And so I get to add another one to my repertoire. I like playing them in the order of creation. My initial plan, the first time I was going to play through, was to play, and I think I've said this before, but it was I love doing things in order. I'm one of those people where, like, if I'm going to play a game, I want to play the first game first, not the third game, and then moving forward, which can be really frustrating because oftentimes the first game isn't great. So, like, for example, the the Tomb Raider series. Not that the first Tomb Raider isn't great, but it's an entirely, the original Tomb Raider games are an entirely different thing to what I was attracted to about the Tomb Raider games I own. And so I couldn't go to the very, very, very beginning, but I was able to go to the first one of that little, can you call that a series if it's just two? That little pairing of games. So for Assassin's Creed, I was so torn because I was like, I want to experience things in real time. I want to like go from the beginning, but for Assassin's Creed, there's two different beginnings. So there's present day moving forward, and that directly correlates with when the games are being created and released. And then there's the past, which jumps around all over the place in the different games. These first few games notwithstanding. In the later made games, they go even further back, is what I mean. So then I was torn because I wanted, since the assassins and the memories are so important, I wanted to play those first. The ones that are based in history first. I wanted to start from the beginning, the oldest possible point, and then work my way forward, which I believe would mean starting with Odyssey. And then, you know, working through that, except that that would mean having to go from these incredibly new games that have these great, painfully great graphics and presumably much cleaner, one would hope, much cleaner controls, to slowly going back in time of release dates to games that are older and older and older. So you get to this one, and then I would have to go from this. And I would have to like jump from those great games back to the first game as I moved forward in time. And I was like, I don't think that my brain can handle that in, you know, having to jump from those different qualities so quickly. So instead I decided I would play through them all according to release date, because then I can sort of watch the games improve, even if it's not necessarily plot-wise, because I know that a lot of people don't like the later games, and I myself have my own issues with them, but watching the mechanics improve and the smoothness of it. Like, you know, maybe, like in this game they have subtitles. In the first one they didn't. This is already a big improvement for me. This is so helpful for me as a person who needs subtitles. But it's been cool going through and watching the games improve as they are released over time. Like watching the engines used for the graphics improve and change. You know, like the graphics for this game are Sims 2 to 3. I'm thinking way more Sims 2. Sims 2 graphics. Just the way that the bodies move and tear when they talk and when they, you know, go flying because they die. Just the way that the angles are cut in the polygons and stuff. And then, you know, you move into the later games and it gets more and more realistic and smoother, and that's going to be cool. It's just going to kill my laptop. But okay, I think that I am done rambling. No promises. I'll probably find something else to ramble about. No, stop that. Just stand still, buddy. Stand still. Plans for the future. When I started streaming, you know, my goal is to play through the entire Assassin's Creed franchise, and that has not changed at all. But what I did was, in order to not burn out on things, I started playing a second game on Thursdays, after I finished the first... What am I looking for? After I finished the first game, and I started this one, I also started doing something else on Thursday, so that I wasn't binging through Assassin's Creed and, you know, really immersing myself too much in it. And I finished the first Tomb Raider, and then I played through Night in the Woods, and now that I'm finishing this game, I am hesitant. I don't know if I want to play another full game between this and the next Assassin's Creed game. Because I'm slow enough getting through these as it is. But I also worry that I will burn out if I just go straight to the next Assassin's Creed game that starts up right where this one left off. And it'll be like I never finished the game in the first place, and there's no, like, sitting and enjoying that I finished it and that I did it. So I was thinking that I'm gonna take next Tuesday off. And then after that, I'm gonna play a shorter game. And the one I was thinking of was Jalopy. Jalopy. I have never been able to settle on what the pronunciation is for that. But it's a fun little game. It's a road trip game, and you got to fix up your car and make money and do a bunch of stuff. And it's got a nice little storyline to it. But it's not a super long game, and I would like to play through that. And hell, for all I know, it'll take like 2 streams. And then whenever I happen to finish the game and decide that I'm done with it, I'll go move on to the next Assassin's Creed game. Meanwhile, on Thursdays, which is sort of a secondary timeline, I guess, I finished Night in the Woods, and I took last Thursday off, which is why there were no posts on Thursday, because I missed Tuesday, and there was none for Thursday. This Thursday, though, I'm going to start the next Tomb Raider game. This one is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and it has some cool stuff in it. I'll warn you now, and I'll warn you when I start the game. It is very gory. It is very, very graphic. As I would hope people would recognize for the different games that I'm playing, I'm not doing these for kids. So, it's a little difficult to play Assassin's Creed in a family-friendly way, seeing as they swear all the time in the game and have a lot of sexual scenes in them as well. But for Tomb Raider, I think it's easier for people to distance themselves from violence and go, okay, well, I'm only worried about my kids seeing sexual things, which means Assassin's Creed is already going to point it out. But in Tomb Raider, there's these 2 games specifically, I mean. There's not so much sexual content, there's some swearing, but there is so much very graphic violence. I don't want to understate it, so it is definitely not for kids, and it's not for somebody who's squeamish either. Like, grown-ass adult, if you can't handle the sight of wonky jaws on getting pushed into stakes and bloody bodies, then maybe don't watch that one. It's a bit much for me sometimes. But yes, so Thursday we will be starting on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Next Tuesday we will be off, and then the Tuesday after that we'll be starting Jalopy, and it'll just be a little short game for us to hang out and chill in. And then once we're done with that, we'll move on to the next in the Ezio trilogy. Whoa, it'll be big. But it is 2:30. Technically, I should still have... I can count, I swear, I can count. It's been an hour and a half, so technically I should have another hour and a half of streaming. I might just end this stream and then start a new one that's going to be like a random little tiny one. I don't even know if the game will properly be recorded by OBS. It's an itch.io game that I was looking at. It's called Diaries of a Spaceport Janitor. It's weird. I like messing around in it. I don't even know if it has like an actual plot line or like an end point. It's not really meant for that. It's more about the experience, but it is kind of hard on the eyes. So if anybody pops in, don't feel bad if it like is a little too much for your eyeballs, because it's very I want to say like Art Deco almost. it's got some very abstract things, and it was just lots of flashing stuff, and bright lights and colors and weird movement and stuff. But yes. Okay. We did it. We are another Assassin's Creed game through the franchise. We have so many more to go. Oh my god. There's 2 more in the Ezio trilogy. Then there's Assassin's Creed 3. And then there's Black Flag, I think. And then there's Rogue. And there's so many. I don't know what all they're called. Whatever. We're gonna get through them. There's a lot. It will take me probably the rest of my life. But I'm very good at starting big projects that are going to take me the rest of my life. Can't tell you if I'm going to finish them, because my life's not over yet. But I will end this stream here. We have the finale, woohoo woohoo, and then I will pop up the new stream, and it's probably going to take me a couple minutes to set that up, but I will do my damnedest to do it pretty quick. But that will just give us another hour and a half to mess around in, and it's just supposed to be random and silly. And if you really like it, then hell, maybe I'll play it randomly as well. Try to tuck it in somewhere else. But for now, thank you for hanging out. So many props to Suman Roy for chilling and being cool and coming to say hi. And for anybody else who stopped by during the stream, if I didn't see you, thank you. For anybody who stops by after and is just listening or watching, thank you for coming by. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to comment. Let me know if there's a game that you would like to see me play. No promises I can play it, because I am not a rich woman and buying games is expensive. But, you know, for instance, after the second Tomb Raider game, I was going to do Subnautica, which is another game I have already played. But, you know, screw it, okay? I replay games. That's just what I do. I'm a chronic starter-over of games, and I will replay them, and I will do it. And it's fun to play games that I have actually finished, because they're games I know I can finish, which is exciting. I will see you guys. If you don't tune into the next little short stream I'm going to do, then I will see you on Thursday with the new Tomb Raider game. And that will be, of course, at 1 a.m. CST, because that's how we do things here. All right. I'll leave you guys to do your thing. Have a good night.